What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, and this is my Smackdown review for December 16th. Now, before I get into my review, I just want to let you know that I actually did watch TNA last night, and I did an outlook. It wasn't necessarily a review because I haven't seen TNA in so long, so it's kind of an outlook, pretty much how I feel that TNA is, and things that I like about it. But I haven't uploaded yet because I had difficulty doing it, but I'm probably going to upload it after this. But anyway, moving on to the review. Now, the beginning of the entire thing was pretty much Booker T coming out. Now, we all know that Booker T is getting a lot of love as of late. And now he's going to actually have a match at TLC versus Cody Rhodes for the IC Championship. So I actually do think that it was a good idea for them to promote this match, since this match is within, 2 days. But honestly, I really do like the fact that Booker T is being put out front. I mean, I really do miss Booker T. I miss the Spinaroonie. I'm actually shocked I'm saying it, but I do miss the Spinaroonie. I think it's going to actually be a good match at TLC. And seeing how Cody Rhodes came out and interrupted him, it actually, kind of gives you a taste. It makes you kind of interested in the actual match. So I think they did a good job there. The only thing that kind of pisses me off was the match was what happened afterwards. Now, after the whole intro was done and how Cody Rhodes was talking about, the stipulation that if Booker T interferes, that he's going to actually lose his chance to win the IC title. Well, the whole thing was that it was a good match, a great match between Cody Rhodes and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was pretty much bringing every technical move in his arsenal, and Cody Rhodes was bringing it as well. But the only thing that bothered me was the commentary. The commentary was all about Booker T and all about Michael Cole and them feuding back and forth. It shouldn't be about Booker T. It should be about what's going on in the ring. This was a good match going on in the ring, and it was completely being overshadowed by Booker T and Michael Cole. Look, there's only so far that Michael Cole can go, and we all know that his feuds are completely inane and just needs to die in a slow death. And they need to stop doing it. And that's really did bother me. It just completely tried to... it didn't really necessarily take me out of the match. I was still enjoying myself and enjoying the match, that was going on. But that commentary was completely unnecessary. It should have just... It should have just... something that happened like later. I don't know. It shouldn't have happened at all, to be honest with you. The one thing that pissed me off the most, really just angered me and made my blood boil on the inside, was the Divas match. Now, after watching TLC and seeing the Knockouts division, you can tell they put the passion in every single match that they had. For that match that I saw with Madison Rayne and with Tracy, I really was into that. I'm going to explain that later on in my video that I'm going to upload. But seeing that and then comparing that to the Divas match, that monstrosity that I saw, how little piddly, wafy Alicia Fox made Natalya cry. Natalya, the Diva of Destruction, cried. Not only did she cry, she had her weave pulled out and humiliated by Alicia freaking Fox. Alicia Fox, the wafy Rihanna wannabe that I don't even know why she's even there. But the thing is that she's supposed to be the Divas of Destruction, and she completely got humiliated. I'm not even going to say buried. She got humiliated by Alicia Fox, and she cried in the middle of the ring. WWE, for real, if you're trying to pretty much book them as a Diva of Destruction, make them strong. Make them a Diva of Destruction, especially against somebody as pathetic as Alicia Fox. And not only that, she got schooled on the mic. In her own little words. It was dumb. And it pissed me off to no end. But moving on from there, because the more I talk about it, the more it's going to be a rant. Okay. Moving on from there. When I actually did see the Usos tag team match, I'm trying to figure out is WWE, do they have like some scouts that go to TNA matches? Because is it just me, or was Epico, Primo, and now Rosa Mendez, did that remind you of Mexican America? It really did remind me of Mexican America. So it makes me wonder, are they sending scouts to TNA matches to actually try to steal characters or try to spoof off people from TNA on the WWE? Because it was it's Mexican America. I mean, come on, be a little bit more original, guys. For real. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match wasn't bad, but the Usos, they're really starting to get on my nerves when it comes to their Samoan chant. I know it's a part of their culture, but it's not doing them any good when it comes to winning matches. You're making your people cry. I mean, you're supposed to be the strongest warriors in the strongest warriors in the Pacific, and your Samoan chant was supposed to bring you strength. You're losing a lot. Stop doing it, or come up with something else. At least they have like pyro every time they do their jump. That's one positive point. But it kind of bothered me, the fact that Rosa Mendez went from becoming Rosa Mendez to Rosa Mendez. Like, I mean, she probably said maybe a few Spanish words that I've ever heard her speak. But it's just too much like Mexican America, and that really kind of took me out of the match. I'm all about originality, and that was not original. But moving on from there, I loved the Big Show's match. I love any match the Big Show's in, because the Big Show is a lot more aggressive as of late. And it's pardon my French, but Mark Henry's becoming a complete pussy right now. He's a wuss. Like, for real, that's pretty much the only way I can describe it. And it's really kind of pissing me off. Because Mark Henry, I love the fact that he actually was kind of booked as a monster. He was the most feared guy in Smackdown, if you could say history, whatever. He was the most feared guy on Smackdown in this era. Everybody feared him. And now he fears he's going to lose his belt, and he's becoming a total wuss from actually taking a chair and hitting a cameraman for no apparent reason because he was worried he was losing his belt. Really? Come on, man. I mean, for real. That's just pathetic. That's really sad. Mark Henry is becoming a complete coward, and I really don't like it, the way that they actually do that to people who are about to lose their belts. Yeah, you make them a little bit worrisome. Yeah, you kind of make them a little bit paranoid and borderline neurotic. But come on, man. It kind of makes me fear that if Mark Henry does lose a belt, and if he actually does lose his rematch, then he's gonna be in the same boat as R-Truth. He won't have a leg to stand on, like, for real. But I actually did like the Big Show match with Jack Swagger, especially the fact that they revisited their feud that they had in the past. In my opinion, they actually did have some unfinished business, but I actually did like that match. And I really do feel that Vicky Guerrero still needs to be by his side and not Dolph Ziggler's. But the one thing that kind of took me away from Mark Henry was the fact that the backstage scene. Like, Jack Swagger was able to mouth off to Mark Henry, and Mark Henry did not smack him down. What's going on, man? And I mean, that's pretty much let me know that Mark Henry is going to probably lose his belt at TLC. But moving on from the whole Mark Henry thing, I can't necessarily say that the main event was bad, but it just seemed far too predictable to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was pretty fast paced. It was at a pace it needed to be, and it actually did kind of give you, what you needed to see for TLC, because they really haven't done a lot of promotion for TLC. They kind of thrown matches in there, which brings me back to the match before the main event match. Now, it was all about Jinder Mahal and Ted DiBiase as of late. They're trying to start a feud, even though Jinder Mahal's had more mic time than Ted DiBiase, and Ted DiBiase is a complete mute. But finally, we were able to see Ted DiBiase posse, backstage before they even started the actual shooting, which was a good thing. It kind of showed him more as a face. But I really could not, for the life of me, understand why they had a match with him and Sheamus after Ted DiBiase versus Heath Slater. Now, If it was me and I had the position to be in Teddy Long's shoes, I would not make a match with Sheamus because it's a given that Jinder Mahal is going to get beat. I literally would have made a match for TLC because since they're throwing matches anyway out of the blue into TLC because they're rushing things, I would have literally made a match with Teddy DiBiase and Jinder Mahal. Whether or not it would be a blackout match or whether or not it'd be the first match of the night. I would literally make a match at TLC with Sheamus being involved because it's a given that Sheamus has nobody to feud with since Christian is gone. But we all know that Christian's not completely gone. He's going to interfere somehow. So if Christian would have came out, interfered during the tables match with versus Sheamus, Jinder Mahal, and Ted DiBiase, then that would have taken Sheamus completely out of it because he would have been chasing Christian all the way up the ramp, and then it would have made a one-on-one match with Jinder Mahal and Ted DiBiase. That's something I would have done, but who am I? I'm just a wrestling fan. But moving back to the main event of the night, it was not bad. It was not a bad match. But the way it was set up with Zack Ryder being involved on the same corner as Randy Orton, it was a given that Randy Orton was going to win. And but it was also a good point, a good turning point between his feud with Wade Barrett. Now, the way it actually ended wasn't so bad because it actually does get you hyped up for their feud at TLC and their match at TLC. So that wasn't totally bad. So I can't completely hate on it. But all in all, there were too many things that kind of pissed me off. So for the night, I have to give it a C-. It pissed me off how Mark Henry is becoming a complete coward. It pisses me off how the fact that the Divas of Destruction they're not even Divas of Destruction. They're just being completely overshadowed by these wavy Barbie dolls. And then the beginning of the night, when Michael Cole and Booker T kind of completely overshadowed the great match that was going on in the ring. So yeah, I have to give it a C- for the night, and it's just for those reasons. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off, and before I go, I'm going to upload my TNA Overlook after I do this. Peace out. See you later.